This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Things have taken a little bit of a turn towards the Gibson end of the street in these parts. You may have noticed, because I've done a few videos about it, that I recently treated myself to a Les Paul tribute, and really liking that guitar. And you may have also seen me do a comparison between that Les Paul tribute and a Les Paul standard belonging to a friend of mine called David, who he brought it round, and we had a little bit of a comparison with it. And most recently, the guitar that David loaned me was a lovely, I think it's Inca Silver HH Telecaster, one of the Player Series ones, and I was so impressed with that. I made him an offer on it, but sadly he wasn't to be persuaded. But when he came to pick it up, he brought this with him, and he said, "Do you want to do a video on this?" So I said, "Yes, please, I will indeed." So what is this? It looks like a 335, but it's not, because it's the scaled down one. This is the ES339, and this is a bit of a first for me because, in a couple of ways, because it's the first time I've ever played a 339. I've played plenty of 335 guitars and 335 type guitars. You can see one hanging on the wall behind me, the Larry Carlton Sire H7. But I've never played a 339 before, the kind of scaled down version of it, and it suddenly kind of makes sense what a lot, if you are used to kind of Fender or like Gibson kind of solid body guitars, let's say, and you fancy that sort of, that kind of semi-hollow, that kind of, as I say, kind of 335 style guitar, but whenever you've picked one up, it's always felt a bit sort of alien and, kind of not really what you're used to. Then something like this might just be, a good compromise. So, as I say, never played a 339 before, but this is a first for me in another way as well, because I've never played a Gibson custom shop guitar before, and this is the first time for that as well. As you can see by the telltale decal on the back of the headstock there, this is a Gibson custom shop ES339, and it has a little bit of a surprise in store for me when I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Let's get on with playing it first of all and hearing what it sounds like. That's what we're going to do today. Coming up on Sunday, you're going to hear this guitar in a fully produced track, and probably at some point there'll be a comparison between this and that Larry Carlton H7 behind me. Anyway, we're just going to hear a few tones from this guitar today. All of the tones will be courtesy of this, which is now my pretty much test bed amplifier, the Marshall DSL-1, mic'd up with a Behringer B906 microphone, and it does give a rather nice tone. And so here's what we're going to do. As you can see there, I was on the classic gain channel with the volume control absolutely maxed out, and it's the way I like to run that amp, and then just dial in clean and dirty on the guitar's volume control. So let's go to the bridge pickup, and what we're going to do is see what kind of, if it gives us that classic 335 kind of blues rock bite on this setting. Volume control on full. You saw the setting on the amp. Let's see what it sounds like. That's probably going to win you a lot of friends down at the open mic blues night at the Dog and Trumpet, or wherever you happen to frequent. It does have that characteristic Gibson semi-hollow kind of sound. So let's dial that volume control back to halfway. What I'm really loving about this guitar, actually, I'm thinking about putting them on my own guitar, is, I don't know if you can see there, but we've got the thumb bleeder markers on the controls, which make it absolutely child's play to dial in the exact setting you want, and not have to worry about, is it close, where do I need to set it. Yeah, I'm going to chuck a set of those in my Les Paul, I think. So anyway, dialing the bridge pickup volume back to about halfway, we get this kind of tone. Straight away, I'm getting the impression that this is quite a bright-sounding guitar. If tone wood is a theory that you subscribe to, then perhaps you will attribute the tone to the timber it's made from. So what you've got here is, it's a mahogany neck, obviously rosewood fretboard, and you've got a maple centre block, and the body is like a poplar maple ply, as is usually the case for these sorts of things. So let's now go to the middle pickup setting again. Volume's exactly at 5, courtesy of the thumb bleeders. Let's see what sort of tone that gives us. Yeah, now normally that sort of thing I would instinctively go for some kind of single coil pickup guitar if I was going to play something of that nature, but this handles it perfectly well. Let's do neck pickup, kind of full on shouty. Let's see what sort of tone that gives us. Again, I'll just mute the microphone. Yeah, that's a sound I could quite happily play with for ages. It really does. It's a custom shop Gibson, and it's a semi-hollow guitar. It ticks a lot of boxes, especially the kind of humbucker semi-solid kind of thing. Semi-hollow. I meant semi-hollow and said kind of half of semi-hollow and half of semi-solid. Anyway, you know what I mean. So yeah, it gives you the sound that you would expect from a guitar of this type. Let's take a quick look at some statistics for the guitar. You can see a nut width of 42.6 millimeters and a weight of 3.14 kilos. First and 12th fret neck profiles there. And while we're talking about statistics and stuff, let's cut to a little bit of B-roll where we can talk about pickup readings. Essentially, you've got a pair of fairly evenly matched pickups here, bridge and neck, both around about 7.8k, and a middle position of 3.9k. So, a nice vintage output set of humbuckers, which, is again something that I'm very, very much fond of. Now, I said this guitar had a bit of a surprise, and the surprising thing for me was because, Gibson and custom shop, those are words that you tend to associate with, astronomical price tags. And whilst this guitar isn't exactly, kind of suitable for those on a Harley Benton budget, it's not as astronomical as I thought. If we take a look at this one, which I found on eBay, $2,650. Now, let's put that into context. when I was doing the kind of one of the Les Paul videos, I forget which one it was, I was saying, well, okay, let's see how much you'd need to pay for a used Les Paul Standard. And a used Les Paul Standard is knocking on the door of $2,000, and that's just a Gibson USA, kind of Les Paul Standard, nothing particularly special or remarkable about it. This is, from the Gibson Custom Shop, and it's only another 650 quid more expensive than what you would pay for a used Les Paul Standard. Again, these are not insignificant amounts of money, but I was just, when I saw the words Gibson and Custom Shop, I was thinking along the lines, okay, so we're going to be kind of $4 or $5,000, something like that. But it was not the case. And, if you have that kind of money, and if you want to spend it on a guitar with this particular badge on the headstock, which, for some people is a a kind of consideration, and if you are wanting something that may, I suspect, I'm not your financial advisor, so don't blame me if it doesn't work out like this, but, maybe something of an investment or an heirloom or something to, kind of pass on to future generations. And also, if you like the idea of a 335, but you've never got on with a particular shape of it, then, this might be something that you are, considering, putting, kind of putting on your shopping list, really. And as I say, come Sunday we're going to be hearing this guitar in a fully produced track, and all the usual kind of tabs and stuff available on Patreon for that. And then it's too good an opportunity to miss, really, to not do a comparison between this, Gibson Custom Shop guitar and the guitar which bears the name of probably the most famous proponent of a Gibson semi-solid, the Larry Carlton guitar behind me there. So we'll do a comparison between these two. And that is very much the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and found it entertaining and informative in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like while you're at it. Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk music and guitars. What, I ask you, is not to like about that? What a cracking way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.